Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, we talk about all things fandom on this channel and we talk about it in a positive way. Now today we have to talk about the Superman movie and the first cameo reveal. Now the first cameo reveal didn't come from James Gunn, it didn't come from anyone official, instead it came from a scooper who feels as though he's entitled to actually spoil this because somebody called him a liar. Now, I don't agree with this concept. However, it's all over the internet. So we're going to talk a little bit about this potential spoiler. And I say potential spoiler for a reason. So let's jump right into it. All right, so before I get into this, I do want to say that this video might sound negative at times. And the reason it might sound negative at times is that what this guy did, I absolutely do find atrocious. So I'm going to try to be a little bit civil, but if this doesn't sound like our normal positive vibe that we normally have, then, you'll understand. Basically, I present things in a positive manner, and I try to always bring you guys the news and let you know what I'm thinking. And I try to be positive about what I bring. And usually, if I don't like a subject, I just don't talk about it. But in this case, you're talking about a movie, and it is very important that you are up to date on what's going on. And this sort of is something that we talk about on this channel from time to time, that whole fandom thing that happens out there with the haters and the people who are criticizing your fandoms and presenting it in a bad way. And I think that this sort of borders on that. And I have no actual knowledge of this guy. I don't know him personally, and maybe he's got things going on that is making this a thing, that's making what he did happen. But the thing of it is, I also don't really excuse it. So if I do sound a bit negative in this video, that's probably why. Okay, so here we are. This happened. Apparently, all of the reviews have been good so far. All the reviews have been good. One reviewer, however, one scooper, said that he heard that the story of Superman actually has no coherent plot, that it's a series of short things kind of spliced together. And, this is kind of the thing. Only one bad review. Well, another scooper that has been in the mix is a scooper named Viewer Anon. So Viewer Anon was talking about this movie and getting into an argument with someone online, which is something you just shouldn't do anyway as a scooper. It's pointless. I don't get into arguments with anybody online as a YouTube channel, and I don't expect that a scooper is going to do that either. But he was getting into an argument online with this person who then called him a liar. Because they called him a liar, he actually got hurt. He decided to do the most despicable thing you can as a scooper, as a person that is in this business trying to report on any sort of entertainment. I don't really condone what he did, but it happened, and that's why we're going to talk about it. So this is the part where we kind of get into that spoiler moment that I was talking about. And this is the part where we're going to be revealing exactly who is playing Superman's dad, because that is what he spoiled. And the thing of it is that it's not a big, huge deal. I have heard that they were going to show this early on in the movie. I have heard that. It's been blasted all over the place. So you may actually start hearing about this. You'll definitely hear about it if you're following the movie, because it is a big thing now. Thanks to him, he has in fact told us who is going to be playing Superman's father. So therefore, it's all over the internet, all because he got upset. He was called a liar, and his response, this is from Viewer Anon. This is his response to being called a liar. You mean like when I told people Wonder Woman 1984 wasn't nearly as good as they were being led to believe? Winky face. Either way, you're so close to realizing why I tell people test screening reports are meaningless. Okay, so first off, two things here. If you think that these are meaningless, then don't report on them. Don't report on them at all. Don't report on test screenings if you think they're meaningless. Because here's the thing. Are test screenings meaningless? Well, in a roundabout way they are. Because they aren't true versions of the movie yet. They are meant to get people's feedback. They are meant to change things that need to be changed. some of those changes might be small and some of them might be really, really big. And that's just the way it goes. And another thing, when he talks about, oh, I told you Wonder Woman 1984 wasn't a good movie. Opinion. That's opinion. I know people that like that movie. I know people that hate that movie. I know people that think it's an okay movie. It's not their favorite. They probably won't watch it again if it's on. But they enjoyed it for what it was. So that is called an opinion too. Okay? So two things right there. Opinions. You think they don't matter? Don't report on them. You think that Wonder Woman 1984 was a bad movie? All film is subjective. It's okay. You're allowed to have that thought. Then he goes on to say, and this is the part where he reveals exactly who is playing Superman's father. He says, Jor-El is Bradley Cooper. There you go. You got something out of me because I'm too defensive when people call me a liar. Okay. So first off, you're in the wrong business. If you're able to get that offended and that mad by someone actually calling you a liar, then you're not in the right business. Because ultimately, people say bad things about me all the time on this channel. They talk about how I talk. They talk about how I look. They talk about how I pronounce things. It's all part of the business. Whether you're a YouTuber, scooper, writer, director, producer, whatever, you're going to get that scrutiny the second you put yourself out there. And you have to be willing to actually accept that scrutiny for what it is. You can either let it roll off your back or you can be absolutely offended. And you can spew out things like this, where you tell people, here you go, you got something out of me, ha ha. See, I'm not a liar. What do you think about that? And maybe he's telling the truth. We're going to pretend like he's telling the truth. Even though this is sort of still him being a scooper, he could in fact not have actually heard this. Like I said, I'm not 1000% sure that this is actually true. And the reason is he's a scooper. He's a scooper and scoopers can be wrong. And yes, they can reveal information they've heard, but the information they heard isn't always the truth. Now, he does say that people that he know went to see this movie, this is what he's heard to be true. Okay, whatever. But you still have to take it with a grain of salt until it's actually been confirmed. Well, then to put it in perspective, one of the people that I absolutely do respect made a post, and people are taking this as confirmation, and I'm not entirely sure it's confirmation. Basically, My Time to Shine Hello says, wait, Bradley Cooper leaked after I made a promise to not reveal it, and puts a little skeleton face on there. So, okay, My Time to Shine Hello has basically said, wait, this is leaked after I made a promise not to reveal it. This could be a little bit sarcastic. This could be them going, haha, whatever, dude. But we don't know. So we do still have to take it with that grain of salt. So let's present it now as though it's fact. And this is 1000% confirmed that this is what is going to be in the movie. It is very early on in the movie, apparently, that this is going to happen. That we're going to see Bradley Cooper as Jor-El. And that's fine. That's okay. That's great. Have him play Superman's dad. I'm fine with that. Bradley Cooper is a great actor. Is he on par with Marlon Brando? Probably not. But hey, you're not going to get a Marlon Brando-esque actor every single time. And I know people were speculating that it could be Tom Cruise, it could be Leonardo DiCaprio, it could be someone like that that's playing Superman's dad. And that may make people a bit more upset. It could make people feel as though they're going in and it's, oh my God, this is not going to be anywhere near as good as what we thought. And that's the problem with doing this to people. That's the problem with doing this type of thing to people, to saying this to people, because you're getting people's hopes up that it's going to be this and it's going to be that. But then again, there's nothing wrong with speculation, which is what a lot of YouTube channels do, and it's perfectly okay to do that. Just, they are telling you, hey, this is a rumor. This is something that is a rumor. Take it all with a grain of salt. Do all that. That's kind of what we do on YouTube when we speculate, and we have fun doing it. There's nothing wrong with a little speculation. But when you do what he did, that's kind of a bit more than just speculation. That's saying, hey, this is the way it is, and that's kind of hurting people's expectations. And in fact, all that should actually matter is this is a good movie. And then I've heard the rumor that this is going to be much more comical, that this is going to be sort of a comical movie. That's great. I love it. Superman 2 was comical, and it's one of the most amazing movies ever. And that's kind of the thing. You have to present it as though you're in a comic book movie. You have to feel like you're in a comic book movie. You have to feel that world. If you're treating it as though it's a real world and superheroes just exist, that can get a bit dark. That can get a bit gloomy. And that can actually make people walk out of the theater being like, yeah, that was an escape. When I go to the movies, I go to escape and I go to have fun. And Bradley Cooper, yeah, okay, that's good. I'm okay with it. I'm not okay with how this dude actually leaked this out. It is what it is. He has leaked this information, whether it's true or not. But that is where I'm going to leave it off to you guys. I do want to know what you guys are thinking, because basically, does this make you more excited about it or less excited? Were you hoping for a big name star to be playing Superman's father, or does this actually work out better for you? What are your thoughts about this rumor? And I'm still going to call it a rumor. Do you think that he had a right to say this just because someone called him a liar? I want to have this conversation with you guys, because to me, it doesn't seem very professional to have done this, but that's just my opinion. And who really cares what I think? The ones that matter are you guys. So I want to know what you guys are thinking about the scenario. I want to know what you guys think. Make sure you're leaving that comment in the comment box below, letting me know what you think. Also, don't forget to share this video with all of your friends. They're going to want to be a part of this conversation, definitely. And then hit that like button. It helps the channel and draws more attention to our channel, so we can present positive videos among all of the negativity. And I know this video wasn't extremely positive, but it is something that was worth addressing to you guys. And I'm always happy to bring you guys the latest news, rumors, and other things, because friends, after you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that notification bell as well, so you don't miss a single video we do, because I know it and you know it. Fandom is family.